What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we're back with another treasure map preparation video. Treasure map Orobi is coming to global, and she is a pretty good unit. So in this video today, not only are we going to be going through the unit herself, we'll go through every single boss, and we'll also discuss some useful characters that are going to be very good in this treasure map. Something to note as well is that the brand new Colosseum unit that's going to be arriving on global, Colosseum Kiyoshiro, is going to be arriving literally 24 hours before the treasure map goes live. Yes, I know it's absolutely awful. I'm not a fan of it either, but there's nothing we can do about it. So I do have to say that, you know, the treasure map, the day that it starts, the day prior to that, you want to actually get farming, because Colosseum Kiyoshiro is pretty good for this treasure map, so make sure to go ahead and farm him up. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the treasure map preparation. So first of all, let's have a look at Orobi, the character that we're all farming for in the upcoming treasure map. Now, this character does have a limit break expansion. However, the stats that you see here will only reflect the prior to the max limit break expansion. This is just the generic max limit break. She also has 5 socket spots, of course, 60 cost. She is a quick cerebral fighter character, and her captain effect will boost the attack of quick and int by 3.25 and heals your crew by 1.5 times her recovery at the end of each turn. A pretty good generic free-to-play captain ability, and you should definitely get her, try and get her really quickly, because this is definitely a character that you'd want to be using as a captain in the treasure map, especially if you are more free-to-play centric. If you don't, you know, obviously get her too quickly, or her captain ability is not ready, you will have to opt to be using some other characters, which we'll go through in this video today. But Orobi is actually a really good captain in her own treasure map, which is kind of interesting. Now, her special ability maxes down to a 14-turn cooldown, and it reduces bind, paralysis, special bind, damage threshold, and damage reduction by 3 turns. Absolutely amazing utility special ability. And then when you launch the special, if your HP is above 50%, you nullify all damage from strength and sight enemies for 1 turn. Like, what a great special ability that is. And she does have the sailor ability that can resist special bind, so you can use her to unspecial bind the rest of your characters. Just overall, this is a character you want to get maxed out. Very similar to Christmas Nami treasure map, where she is just a character that removes a bunch of different debuffs, and it's a really nice unit to have. So the first of these bosses we're going to talk about is the intrusion battle. Yes, this does have an intrusion battle, which is really cool. This one is going to be against Nami, or Onami, and on stage 2, you're going to go ahead and have to deal with her mini boss, which has 500,000 health, and she gives you a preemptive attack of a 1.2 attack boost and a 1.2 orb boost. Very annoying to deal with. However, you can just go ahead and stall it out if you do want to, or if you have the rare recruit character from the upcoming treasure Sugo, being the Brook, Bone Kichi. He actually has the special ability to remove the beneficial effects, which is pretty good. Otherwise, the only other characters that you can really run to remove beneficial effects is Treasure Map Big Mom, who is a 1.1 times point booster, or is running Treasure Map Cavendish, but, you know, he removes beneficial effects and then applies a driven attack and orb boost, which isn't really ideal in this specific treasure map. But otherwise, you'll have to try and stall it out, and that's not really a big deal, because Nami doesn't really do anything. She just provides the attack and orb boost, and that's basically it. Now, as for her stage 3 fight against Onami, she will go ahead and state that she is a quick type, but when you enter that room, she becomes a strength enemy, which of course means you want to be bringing some quick characters into this fight. Now, this fight does have 1.25 million HP. She has a delay immunity for 98 turns. She also will give you a 3-turn 1.1 chain lock, and she will lock your orbs for 1 turn, and she changes them all into block orbs. So you want to be bringing a block orb remover, of course, and as we said, she does become a strength enemy. After turn 1, she gives you 1 turn of special rewind, and she does recovery bind you for 98 turns. And on turn 2, she will paralyze your team, and don't get her below 20%, because she does do really bad things below 20% as well. But overall, you want to be trying to killing her in at least 1 turn. That's going to make it a lot easier for this particular fight. As for the suggested team that I've got for you guys, it is basically going ahead and utilizing the new Robin as the captain. Of course, at the very start, you're not going to have Robin, so I would suggest running Raid Carrot as the captain instead. She's got a very good ability. Make sure to go ahead and use her. As for the other characters here, we've got a Komurasaki friend captain, giving us a 2 times attack and orb boost for our quick and int characters. We've also got Treasure Map Nami on the team, the Psy version, and she's going to be going ahead and removing the 3-turn chain lock that gets inflicted. We've also got the brand new Kizuna Clash Magellan, who's really nice, because you can go ahead and use him to get a free conditional boost, because that's just really nice, right? Because the Nami actually doesn't have any effect that will go ahead and resist the poison conditional boost, so you can go ahead and use that if you want. And Colosseum Kiyoshiro, which we mentioned earlier on in the video, very nice here, because he changes those block orbs into int orbs, which Komurasaki as the captain will treat as beneficial. So that's the team that I'm going to suggest to you guys that is free to play, that can beat this boss very easily. So progressing through to these Battle Rush bosses, we have Otama as the first boss here. Otama is an int character with 400,000 health, and her preemptive attack has a delay immunity for 98 turns. She buffs her own attack for 98 turns, and she'll also go ahead and apply 5 turns of despair to your team, and she'll go ahead and make all of your orbs into empty orbs. And below 50%, she's going to apply a 20 hit combo barrier for 3 turns. She actually doesn't really do too much. She's pretty easy to deal with. As for the team that I am suggesting for you guys, it is going to be running a double Edward Weevil team. He's really good here because you can still get his attack boost because the enemy does have a delay immunity. Then for the subs here, we've got Colosseum Kiyoshiro, who can change the empty orbs into int orbs, and as a sub, he makes int orbs beneficial for your slashes, so that's going to be a really, really nice unit to have for this team. And then you've got the Kinemon, not the Kinemon, oh, you do have Kinemon on this team, but he's completely useless. You can replace him with whatever you want, but he is a 1.35 point booster, which is pretty good. You've also got the Osuru, which is really nice to have because she can go ahead and remove the despair that gets inflicted to your team. And then Treasure Map Cavendish is completely replaceable, but he's just a really high attack power slasher character that can be slapped on this team, and he really helps out. So that's the way that this team specifically works against Otama, and it goes through this boss very, very easily. The next of these mini-bosses is against Zorojuro, and he is a Psy character with 450,000 HP with a preemptive attack of having a full immunity buff, and he applies 2 different chain debuffs to you. He applies 3 turns of a chain lock and 3 turns of a chain coefficient reduction. Pretty annoying. And then after turn 1, he's going to apply 3 turns of increased damage taken, and below 20%, he cuts your health by 20%, and he buffs his own attack for 98 turns by 2.5 times. So really, the only thing you really have to deal with is the chain debuffs that get inflicted to your team. Now, this is a free-to-play team that I'm suggesting for you guys. You should definitely, ideally, replace characters on this team if you have them. But with this team, you have the Christmas Nami to remove the chain debuffs that get inflicted to your team. You've also got the dual unit of Magellan and Hannibal to grant you a color affinity boost. You've also got the Crocodile to change himself into the captain spot. You also have a Treasure Map Sabo, who doesn't really help you too much in this situation because you cannot get the conditional boost, but he can grant you some matching slots. He changes type slots into matching, which is really good for your cerebral characters here. And then you've also got Colosseum Kiros, who can go ahead and change adjacent orbs into matching and gives you a small orb boost. But this isn't the most ideal team in the world, but it actually does a really good amount of damage. Like, it actually surprised me. This team does at least 4 million plus damage with all the specials active and stuff. So it is a pretty strong team, but I'd say if you have other characters, you should definitely try and find replacements for some of the units that you see on this team. The next of these Battle Rush bosses is against Okiku. So Okiku is a quick character and has 500,000 HP with a preemptive attack of a 98 turn defense down immunity. Okiku also has 2 turns of damage threshold, 2 turns of resilience, and your captains will be special rewinded by 1 turn. And Okiku actually changes into a Psy type character, so you predominantly want to be using int characters for this fight. After turn 2, your health is cut by 30%, and below 20%, Okiku will blow away 2 random characters and recover 30% of their HP. So, annoying to deal with, so don't get it below 20%. You ideally just want to be killing Okiku on turn 1. So as for a team that I've suggested for you guys, it is a full int shooter team, utilizing Halloween Nami as the captain because she is a 1.35 times point booster, which helps out a lot. We've got the Kimono Kizaru, which not a lot of people will have. He will go ahead and reduce cooldowns of your predominant type on your team by 1 turn. So it means that our captain specials will be ready to go. Not definitely required, but it helps out a lot, that's for sure. Then we've also got Halloween Boa Hancock, which is fantastic because Boa Hancock can remove the resilience and the damage threshold of Okiku on stage 7 of her fight. So she makes it much, much easier having Halloween Boa Hancock. Then we've also got a type booster with Raid Zephyr, and then we have the Kizuna Magellan to go ahead and provide a conditional boost if we so need to, but not a requirement to use his special ability either. But again, he is a 1.35 times point booster, which helps out a lot. The final Battle Rush boss is against Komurosaki, and she is a quick character with 150,000 HP, so very, very low amounts of health. She is surrounded by some reinforcements though. I believe those characters have, give or take, maybe 100,000 HP. Not really 100% sure how much health they have, but with the preemptive attack here, she'll go ahead and apply 98 turns of defense down immunity. Also, you are target locked to the middle character for 98 turns. Your team will get inflicted with 3 turns of paralysis as well, so you definitely need a unit to remove remove that. And all of your orbs are actually changed into recovery. After turn 1, she'll go ahead and apply a 98 turn 3-hit perfect barrier, so you definitely want to kill her on turn 1. And also all of your orbs will be changed into badly matching, and on turn 2 she summons more of the samurai. So if any of the samurai are defeated whilst KonradCurze is alive, some of them will be resummoned, which is annoying, and then all of your beneficial effects and accumulated damage are also removed. So the team that I'm suggesting for you guys here is basically just using Colosseum Kid and Treasure Map Whitebeard to do large amounts of AoE damage towards the enemy, and that's basically what you really need to be doing, because KonradCurze does not have that much HP. Colosseum Kid with his special ability is going to be doing crazy amounts of damage to her for a pretty long time, and considering her health is low, her scaling is also relatively small, so it's going to take a really long time for Colosseum Kid's special to not kill KonradCurze, honestly. And Whitebeard special as well provides a pretty good amount of AoE damage as well. So that's a team that I'd suggest there, and building a team around those guys, which is why I'm suggesting running Ben Beckman and Shanks as the captain, because they boost int and dex characters respectively. So it's an option, but definitely not a requirement to use them as a captain here, but it definitely helps out a lot. So now we've finally made it to the final boss against Orobi, but on stage 6 we have Chopper M, who is the mini-boss stage. He's a quick unit with 400,000 health, and his preemptive attack will apply 98 turns of delay immunity. He has 2 turns of defense up as well, and for 2 turns he removes your SFX, which is the blindness debuff for 2 turns. Now, when you actually kill Chopper, he will actually change all of your orbs into strength slots. Very bizarre, but yeah, it's what he does. Now, moving on to the final boss stage against Orobi. She's a quick unit, has 1.25 million HP. She has a preemptive attack of 98 turns of delay immunity, 98 turns of defense down immunity, and also will apply 3 turns of attack down to your team. And for 1 turn, she has a 4-hit perfect barrier, so removing 1 turn of barrier is going to be really good for this fight. And she becomes a strength type, because normally she's a quick unit. She becomes a strength type because of, obviously, the latest batch, utilizing those colors, right? After turn 1, she applies 2 turns of a defense up effect, and below 50%, she's going to buff her own attack for 99 turns, and she's going to cut your health by 20%. I can't remember off the top of my head if she does something below 20%, but I would assume that she does, so you want to try and kill her as soon as possible. So as for my suggested team for this particular fight against Orobi, this team looks a little bit obscure, but it all makes sense, honestly. So the way that this team works is on stage 6, when we verse the mini-boss Chopper, we can use our Carrot special, which will go ahead and remove the defense buff that Chopper has, as well as providing an attack boost to our characters. And then we can use the Treasure Map Hawkins to get a full board of matching slots, which is great. Definitely really nice to have that. And then we can go ahead and kill Chopper, move on to the next room, and then we have the Colosseum Ores to remove the attack down. We have the Shanks special ability to remove the barrier of the Robin, as well as providing some beneficial slots for our team. We've got Robin special, which doesn't actually help us too much in this particular fight, but we've got the friend captain Onami, and that will enable us to remove the enemy defense immunity, as well as providing a 2x attack boost, or a 2x conditional attack boost against the enemy. And then with all of that being activated, with activating all the specials, with the sailor ability of Carrot, her special will be ready to be launched again, so you can basically get a free 1.75 attack boost in this room as well. This team will do a pretty substantial amount of damage for a pretty long time, so this is just an ideal team, one ideal team that can work very, very well as for free-to-play against the Orobi fight. And now we made it to the end of the video, so here is just a quick showcase of all of the free-to-play characters and teams that I've suggested for you guys in this video today. Against Onami, having a friend captain KonradCurze is going to be very key in enabling you to clear this much, much easier. Not a requirement, but helps a lot, that's for sure. We've also got the Treasure Map Nami on this team to also remove the chain lock that will be inflicted on stage 3. And we've also got the, Kiyoshiro to go ahead and remove the block orbs that get inflicted to our team as well. Now, against Otama, the free-to-play team is utilizing double Edward Weevil, and again, Colosseum Kiyoshiro to remove the empty orbs that get inflicted to our team into int orbs, which, as a sailor, he makes them beneficial for our slashes, makes our Psy Slasher characters hit Otama very, very hard. Now, against Zorojuro, we have a lot of chain debuffs that get inflicted there as well. TM Nami is able to remove all of those, and then the rest of the characters are basically centralized to, basically clear and do as much damage as you possibly can, utilizing very powerful int characters characters here. We've got color affinity with Magellan and Hannibal. We've got the ability with Croc to make him become the captain, and he gives himself an attack boost. And that's basically how this particular team works. Nothing really too special for that one. As for Okiku, we're running a full int shooter team with treasure map Halloween Nami as the captain instead. And she's very good, especially with Halloween Boa as a sub. Her special ability with the Boa Hancock special will go ahead and remove the resilience and the threshold that gets inflicted on the Okiku stage. So that's going to make your fight a whole lot easier if you have treasure map Boa on your team. Now against Komurosaki, the last of the Battle Rush bosses, basically utilizing Colosseum Kid and treasure map Whitebeard to do lots of AoE damage, and clearing that stage shouldn't be too much of a challenge with those particular characters. And the final boss fight against Orobi, which we briefly just discussed before, utilizing the friend captain of Onami to get the ability to remove the defense immunity, and providing a 2x defense down conditional boost is very, very useful here. As well as we have the carrot for stage 6 Chopper to remove his defense, as well as Hawkins to get you matching orbs for that stage. And on the final boss stage, we can use Shanks to remove the barrier and get some matching slots. We've got Oars to give us the ability to remove the attack down. And that's pretty much all how it goes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown of all of these teams for treasure map Orobi. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.